Nostalgia. I felt it. You felt it. We've all felt nostalgia at least once in our lives. It's pretty much inevitable. And for those who don't know, nostalgia is basically a feeling of longing for times in the past or something like that. It's missing the old days. That's basically all nostalgia is. Like when you see that old nigga at a high school football game, he's talking to other people about, oh, yo, I used to be the star quarterback. I was a mean defensive tackle. He's having a nostalgia moment. Let Unc be, nostalgic in peace. But I feel like for me, and I don't know if this is common or uncommon, but I think for me, there's different stages of nostalgia. I'll provide 3 examples of years that I remember being really, really good. Like just years that I wish I could relive. One of them is going to be pretty weird, and a lot of people will probably disagree with me for valid reason, but I'll explain. So the first year I wanted to talk about was
gassed up shorty, said I need about 40, pull up to the...
I feel like we all know how good of a year 2016 was, but just to recap how special of a time I guess I could also put 2015, but 2015-16, sure. But to recap and just remind everyone how special of a time 2015-2016 was. You had the SoundCloud era popping off. You had Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and A$AP Rocky had all released music pretty recently. So music was on lock. Cavs came back down 3-1 from the Warriors, the greatest NBA team of all time. Had one of the greatest baseball moments in history with Jose Batista. Just random moments, random shit that just happened to be like... Fetty Wap was still popping in 2015, bro. That's how crazy it was. And here's the thing. I was born in 08, right? I probably don't remember it as well as people who were born in 07, 06, 05, 04. Those people were either right before their teenage years or in their teenage years during 2015, 2016. Actually, no, they'd be 11 and 12. Close enough, whatever. And they probably remembered a lot fonder than my 7 and 8-year-old ass does. But it was something about everything coming together, right? Sports, music, culture. You had shit okay, I know it's a moot point, but fidget spinners and hoverboards, dog. Vine. You had all of these media and pop culture things come together at one singular point in time for about 2 years, and that's why you 2016 XXL Freshman Cypher. That's why everybody considers it the greatest of all time, because even though it wasn't actually the greatest cypher of all time, because if you don't remember, 21 Savage did this during his fucking freestyle.
Put up on a motherfucking yeah.
It's that nostalgia factor that I feel like most people have for 2016. It makes people remember 2016 better than it was. It was still such a pivotal time to be alive. So yeah, 2016 overall was probably the year that most people have the most nostalgia about. But now I'm going to go into years that I feel like a lot of people don't have nostalgia about, and it's only 2 more. I mean, because every year is nostalgic, but for certain people, some years are going to be more nostalgic than others. These are my more nostalgic years than others, I guess. Hell, you might share some of the sentiments I have. I don't know. You could love 2016 and you could love the next year I'm about to talk about. I don't know. Nostalgia is very picky. I feel like the only time everybody ever had one concise feeling of nostalgia for some was 2016. So the next year I wanted to talk about was...
They trying to be crack. They trying to be crack.
You might already know why I think 2019 was one of the best years ever, because if you heard earlier, you heard I was from Toronto. But for the uninitiated, 2019 was the year the Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship. Of course, I'm going to remember the year fondly. I was at the parade. Fuck that guy who shot up the parade, by the way, because you were the start of the downfall of Toronto. Now we're just like New York City, but we have dumber accents. Yeah, fuck that guy. But yeah, the reason why I like 2019 so much is Raptors championship parade, and it was the last year before the pandemic. Music was banging, it just was. Fortnite was dead, sort of, so that was nice. And it was also the year Modern Warfare 2019 came out. And if you don't know me, you'll probably be thinking, is that really such a big portion of why you like the year so much? And the answer is yes. The year that I was also the greatest at basketball, now I'm washed. It was the greatest year for Canadian basketball. Video games were hidden. It's like, of course I'm gonna love the year. Of course I'm gonna be nostalgic about it. It was when I had the most memories with friends that I've had, and some that I've lost since then. Like, they're not dead, but like, I don't talk to them anymore. Also, YouTube was hitting during 2019. That's when I first discovered the Goons and shit. It's a group of YouTubers. They're not people that, you know, jack their dicks for 4 hours and then go outside. But like, that's when YouTube really started hitting for me. And honestly, 2019 was one of my most nostalgic years because it led into the next nostalgic year, which my last year that I wanted to talk about that was really nostalgic for me was so I know what a lot of you are thinking. 2020 sucked. And I'll agree with you on that. The year sucked. It was the year that I just let myself go. So now I look like a 55-year-old man. 6 million people around the world died from something. Politics all got fucked up. Like in 2021, when America literally turned into an apocalypse for a day. Your silly little country down there. Like 2020 was a rough year. However, how can I forget George Floyd? That too. But I feel like that was probably in a lot of y'all's minds already anyway. So the lockdown of 2020, I don't know what it was. There was something magical about that, man. I don't know what to tell you. Yes, I completely let myself go, and a lot of other people did, and a lot of them haven't gotten out of it, me included, since then. But like, it was something about being indoors all day, being able to talk to your friends from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day. It's like, something about that is just a memory that you will hold forever. You can say that you lived through a pandemic, a global like pandemic, and you could say it was technically, if you weren't affected by it at all, depending on who you are, it could have been the best time of your life. If you were a hermit, 2020 was banging for you. It was smacking for you. You didn't have to talk to anybody. You didn't have to see anybody. You didn't have to leave your room. You could claim you felt sick and people would stay away from you. It's like, if you hated niggas, it was the greatest year of your life. It just was. Now, I don't hate people. I actually like talking to people, which is why 2020 was also such a good year for me, because I got to talk to people online that I've never met in my life. Some of them sucked. I'll say that. Discord, because Discord was the only way you could really talk to people during 2020. Discord sucks. There's a few people on Discord who are cool, and they might be watching this video actually. Shout out y'all. But most of Discord sucks. But during 2020, I didn't realize that. So I had a lot of good memories with those people who ended up being, I don't know, Nazis or something like that. I didn't know them, though. I feel like I should clarify. I was not a co-Nazi. That, and how can I forget? Warzone. Like, dude, we need to talk about Warzone for a sec. We just need to talk about Warzone for a sec, all right? Warzone might have been the most important game of the past decade. Everybody was playing. You can't say that about Fortnite, because there were still people not playing Fortnite because their parents didn't allow them to, or they had no interest in it, or they were playing Titanfall or 2K. By the way, 2K20, absolutely legendary game. I don't care what anybody says. It had bad design. Shut up. 2K20 was a great game. If you disagree, kill. Here was the routine of somebody during the pandemic. Here was my routine during the pandemic. Wake up, eat breakfast, go play some basketball on my hoop outside for like an hour, and then from about 12 p.m. onwards, it was 12 p.m. to like 12 a.m., you'd be playing video games. So apart from video games, ignoring politics, which is really hard to do, 2020 was probably one of the most connected years ever. In a weird way. You met so many people you had no idea existed prior to 2020. Some of them might have been good friends that you still talk to. Others might have been Nazis, which I've already said. But like, it was just such a rare opportunity and moment in time. Like, if you stepped outside during... What the fuck? If you stepped outside during the pandemic of 2020, I'm telling you right now, you would have seen the most beautiful sunrises and beautiful sunsets in your life, which is what I did damn near every day of the pandemic. I know what time the sun was rising. I know what time the sun is setting. I would go outside and I would see it. Those images are burned in my mind. Just some of the greatest memories you could have. And it's literally just the sky. And that's why I'm personally nostalgic about it. I might have unlocked a bit of nostalgia about it for you, maybe. I'll say it again. The pandemic sucked. It was the worst time in, I wouldn't say modern. When I say modern, I mean like the past 20 years. I wouldn't say it was the worst time in the past 20 years. I'd probably say that was 2007, because Soulja Boy started making music that year. But it was one of the worst years in a very long time. But there were certain aspects about it that I wish I could relive. Like if I could relive the pandemic, minus all the political bullshit that happened, because that really, one, it fucked up America really bad. Now you guys are fucked. But it also messed up the world. A lot of people are more extreme now, which sucks. But if the politics were taken out of it, if people just wore their masks or took their vaccines, ignoring all of that bullshit, I would have loved to relive 2020 just once, to one, correct my mistakes, and two, just to see those sunsets again. Talk to people for 12 hours of the day and not get tired of it. I just wish I could relive that. And that is why 2020 is one of my nostalgic years. And if you disagree with me and a family member of yours or something died during the pandemic, first of all, rest in peace. They lived a long and fruitful life. And second, that's completely fine. You might be nostalgic about 2021 when I hated 2021. It was the worst year ever. To each their own with nostalgia. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Nostalgia is a really cool thing about the human mind that I am way too retarded to research. So I just wanted to speak about it in my own way. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Instagram, I used to make gaming videos sort of on there. Now I just post videos of fucking cars. If you want to, go watch them.